So my people, let's talk about what's really happening right now in Nigeria, because the tension is real and the eyes of the whole nation are fixed on one case. The case of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB, and what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government has said about it. You see, a lot of people have been asking, what is Tinubu going to do? Is he going to release Kanu? Will he interfere with the court? But finally, the answer came directly from one of the president's top aides, his special advisor, who said clearly that Tinubu is awaiting the court's decision. Now, this statement might sound simple, but it means a lot. It shows that the president is saying, I will not interfere with the judiciary. He wants the court to handle the matter independently. For many Nigerians, this is a strong message about respecting the rule of law. Something people have been demanding for years. Remember, Nnamdi Kanu's case has been dragging for a long time, full of twists, high-tension moments, and even protests across different parts of the country. Before we go deeper, please, if you are watching right now, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you don't miss any of our updates on this big story. Now, let's continue. So, the presidency came out to tell everyone that Tinubu is not taking sides. He is simply waiting to see what the judges will decide. For those who may not know, the court has already fixed November 20th, 2025 as the judgment day for Nnamdi Kanu's case. That day is expected to be one of the most watched legal moments in Nigeria's history. Whether you are in Lagos, Enugu, Abuja, or even outside the country, people will be watching. Nnamdi Kanu's journey to this point has been long, from his early activism to the founding of IPOB to his arrest and the legal battles that followed. It's been a story full of drama, controversy, and emotions. Some people see him as a freedom fighter, others see him as someone who crossed the line. But what cannot be denied is that his name has become one of the most talked about in Nigeria's modern history. The fact that President Tinubu has chosen to stay silent and let the court decide shows he wants to build confidence in the justice system. Because let's be honest, in the past, Nigerians have always accused governments of interfering in court cases, especially when politics or national security are involved. But this time, the message is clear. The judiciary must decide. Now, some people believe that this approach could actually calm things down. Because if the president had spoken in favor of either side, it could have caused even more tension. So, the idea of waiting for the court is not just political, it's also strategic. It sends a message to the international community that Nigeria's democracy is maturing. If you are still with me, please like this video right now and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us bring you these updates in real time. Okay, let's keep going. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Supporters of Nnamdi Kanu have been holding peaceful rallies calling for his release. They believe he has suffered enough and that keeping him in custody for too long could worsen the situation in the southeast. On the other side, some Nigerians, including security experts, say the law must take its full course because national unity and peace must come first. They believe justice should not be rushed or influenced by emotions. So, it's like a balancing act. The president is standing in the middle, not saying release him and not saying keep him. Instead, he is saying, let the court speak. That's leadership through patience. Now imagine this. When November 20th finally comes and the judgment is announced, Nigeria could experience a big moment, either of celebration or disappointment. If the court frees Kanu, it could bring relief to his supporters, but it could also create new political challenges for the government. If the court rules against him, then the government will have to prepare for possible reactions from his followers. Either way, the government's response will matter. And that's why Tinubu's message is powerful. By waiting for the court, he is indirectly saying, whatever happens, Nigeria must remain calm, peaceful, and united. That's the kind of tone the country needs right now. As we go further, I want you to think about something. Cases like these are not just about one man. They are about how justice is handled, how power is used, and how citizens trust their leaders. The whole world is watching to see if Nigeria will truly respect the rule of law this time. If you are enjoying this gist, Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments what you think will happen in this case. Do you think the court will free him or not? I really want to hear your thoughts. Now let's look at how this affects ordinary Nigerians. You see, whether we live in the southeast, north, or southwest, peace and stability are what we all want. When the government allows the court to do its work freely, it sends hope that justice can actually be fair. That's something every citizen deserves. And when the people see fairness, it reduces anger, it reduces protests, it reduces hate speech. That's what the government wants. A country where everyone believes that their voice and their rights matter. For Nnamdi Kanu himself, this upcoming judgment could define his future, and also the future of IPOB. It could also influence how the government handles other activist movements in Nigeria. That's why many political analysts are saying this is not just a court case, it's a defining moment for Nigeria's democracy. Please like this video and subscribe if you haven't yet. Let's push this gist out so more people can stay informed in a calm and truthful way. Now, here's something we should also consider. The special advisor to the president made that statement not by accident. It was carefully planned because the government wants to control the narrative and avoid giving any room for misinterpretation. There have been many rumors, people saying the president wants to influence the case, others saying he will release Kanu soon. But now we know the truth. Tinubu is simply waiting for the court's decision. That shows discipline. And discipline in governance is what builds public trust. Because once citizens know their leaders will not interfere, they start to believe again in the justice system. At this point, Nigerians are tired of political noise. What people want is peace, fairness, and real justice. They want leaders who act maturely and do not use emotions to make national decisions. Tinubu's decision to stay quiet on this case might not please everyone, but it's the right thing to do. Because when a matter is in court, it belongs to the court. Now let's be real. Whatever the judgment turns out to be, it will spark different reactions. But it's how the government and citizens handle those reactions that will matter the most. If you are still watching, please like and subscribe right now. It keeps us motivated to bring you real-time gists like this. The case of Nnamdi Kanu is a reflection of Nigeria's growing pains, a test of how far we have come as a democracy and how ready we are to handle tough national conversations without violence. It's a lesson for everyone, the government, the courts, and the people. So as November 20th gets closer, the question remains, what will the court say? What will Nigeria's next chapter look like after that? And how will the president respond? Because at the end of the day, it's not just about one man or one case. It's about the soul of the nation, justice, peace, and unity. Now, if the court finally delivers judgment on November 20th, one thing is sure. It will shape Nigeria's political and security atmosphere in a very serious way. Because this is not just an ordinary court case. It's one that touches on national unity, the justice system, human rights, and even the country's image across the world. Let's think about the first possible outcome. If the court decides that Nnamdi Kanu should be released, it will be a major victory for his supporters and many people in the southeast who believe he has been unjustly treated. That judgment will bring massive joy to those who have been protesting for his release for years. There will likely be celebrations, rallies, and emotional reactions from people who see Kanu as a voice for the voiceless. But on the other hand, that same judgment will also bring a big test for the government. Because if he's freed, the government will have to decide how to manage the aftermath, how to ensure that the release doesn't create new security challenges, how to keep peace in the region, and how to balance that with national interest. So it's not going to be an easy moment for anyone in power. And if you're watching right now, take 1 second, hit the like button, subscribe, and drop your thoughts below. I want to know what you think would happen if the court frees him. Now, let's look at the second possibility. If the court rules against him and he remains in custody, that will also come with reactions. Some people will feel disappointed, some may even be angry, and it could lead to protests. But the most important thing will be how the government and the people handle it. Because this is the time when peace must come first. Nigeria has already gone through a lot. We don't need any more division or violence. That's why President Tinubu's calm approach is important. By saying he's waiting for the court's decision, he's sending a signal to everyone. Let's allow the system to work. Because if every issue becomes a political fight, then the country will never grow. We need to build confidence that justice will always speak louder than influence. Now, let me tell you something deeper. This whole situation is also a test of the judiciary itself. Nigerians are watching to see if the court will truly be independent, if the judgment will be fair and not influenced by politics. Many people have lost faith in the system before, so this is a moment for the judiciary to prove itself. If you agree with me, please like this video and subscribe. Let's keep spreading real, calm news that helps people understand what's going on. Now, beyond politics, let's talk about the human side of this matter. Nnamdi Kanu has been through a long legal journey, years of detention, court appearances, and emotional pressure. It's been a tough road. His family, his supporters, and even his critics are all waiting for the same thing, a clear end to this story. Because whether people support him or not, everyone is tired of the back and forth. Nigerians want closure, they want peace, and they want justice to finally take its course. And that's exactly why November 20th is such a big date. That day will write a new chapter in Nigeria's history. The decision that comes out of that courtroom could either calm things down or stir things up. That's why every statement from the presidency is being watched carefully. Now think about this. The president's special advisor didn't just speak randomly. That kind of public statement usually comes after internal discussions. It's meant to show that the government wants to be transparent, that it's not trying to manipulate anything. This also helps to reduce tension before the court date arrives, because the more people believe that the process is fair, the more peaceful the outcome will be, no matter what the judgment says. Please like this video and subscribe right now. Let's keep this conversation growing. Now let's imagine the bigger picture. How will this judgment affect Nigeria's politics and image internationally? If handled well, it could help restore global confidence in Nigeria's justice system. Countries around the world are watching how Nigeria manages this case, because it shows whether we are truly democratic or just pretending. If the rule of law stands firm, it could even attract positive attention, improve relations, and make people see Nigeria as a place where justice can work. But if the process looks unfair, then it could bring negative attention and more division at home. That's why everyone, the court, the presidency, and the citizens, have a role to play in keeping things calm and lawful. Let's not forget, this is not just about politics. It's about real people. People who want to see their loved ones safe. People who want to go about their daily lives without fear. People who believe in fairness. The truth is, Nigeria has reached a point where citizens want to see real leadership, not just words. They want to see that when leaders say rule of law, they actually mean it. And that's what this case is about, whether those words will hold meaning or not. If you are watching right now, please like this video, subscribe, and drop a comment. Tell me, what do you think this means for the future of Nigeria? Now, something else people don't talk about enough is how this case could affect the Southeast region's relationship with the rest of Nigeria. If handled peacefully, it could help rebuild trust. But if not, it could deepen the feeling of division. That's why this moment is not just a legal one. It's an emotional one for millions of Nigerians. This is also a time for everyone, from traditional leaders to youth groups, to promote peace and understanding. Because at the end of the day, no matter where we come from, Nigeria belongs to all of us, and we need peace to grow. So while we wait for November 20th, it's important to remain calm and hopeful. Let's allow the judiciary to do its work. Let's encourage fairness, and let's not give room for misinformation or hate. Please, before I continue to the last part of the gist, like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone. Let's spread this message of peace and awareness together.